Hi guys, I'm Priyanka Chopra Jonas and this is what I do in an entire day. So a typical day when I'm filming Sky's Pink, say in Mumbai, because we shot all over, we would have really early mornings because we wanted the quiet. It's basically this love story of this couple that lose their child. The grief of it, the joy of it, celebrating the person who has lived rather than mourning the person who has gone. It's a very complex film with many complex emotions, and my character is a ferocious mom who will do anything to make sure that her daughter lives her biggest, best, longest life. And it was just such a beautiful, beautiful thing because I was raised by two ferociously protective and possessive parents, and I saw how parents fight for their kids firsthand. And this was just very, very special to me on many levels. So the movie travels a lot, but we filmed all the set stuff and the set pieces in Mumbai, but we were on location in Delhi and in London. I would wake up around, say, 5:45. First thing in the morning I have to do is check my phone. I finished filming a big chunk of the movie 3 days before I got married. There was just so much going down that I never was too far away from my phone. I would have my espresso, have my shower, I'd get in my car. It would take about 45 minutes to get to set usually. By the time I reach set, I get into the zone of my character, and I'm off book. I age from about 25 to 52 in the movie, so we had different looks for every decade or so that I played. It was very subtle aging in the movie because Shonali is a believer, that my director, that women are never aged beautifully in movies somehow. So at 50, why should a woman look dowdy? And I really agreed with that. So it would take about 2 hours. I would get into hair and makeup by about 7. I'll be ready to shoot by about 9 o'clock. But that process, when I'm in my trailer, it becomes like a cocoon. It was a very intense movie with a lot of intense emotions. So the right music was important. Give me mood, give me angst, give me pain and sadness and all of those things. So that would happen. I can't remember of a specific song. I'm sorry. It would be really funny if I did, but I can't. Walking from my trailer to set is a big, important zoning in sort of moment, because once I walk into set, it's all game. We go into rehearsals and we block the scene first because Shonali was very about what natural instincts come to her actors, and she really depends on her actors and allows them to be. I'm not method in a way where I can't even have other thoughts. I can't do that because then you don't surprise yourself in a performance. I feel personally as an actor, I have to leave room for magic. Then while they set up the shot, I go sit on my chair, have my coffee. This coffee doesn't leave my side for at least 4 hours after I've woken up. It's terrible, I know, but my brain needs to wake up. After maybe 20 minutes of shooting a scene, I would have 60, 65 messages, images and a million images of a million things. And especially friends saying we can only get this wine, or only these flowers are available, or what is the right color of ivory, because I'm very specific. But it's also kind of my fault because I wanted to see everything. To sort of talk to myself saying that this is my fault. And while I was working, Nick would handle it because he was in the US at that time. So we conquered really well because while he was in the US and it would be night here, it would be day there. So while I was sleeping, he could get a lot of work done. I guess that's how I ended up shooting a movie and planning a wedding in 5 weeks. I don't know. I do have a few favorite apps. During Sky's Pink, it was a wedding app that we had created for the wedding. But outside of that, I feel like people will judge me for this. I like doing math. So there's this app called Math42. It's really cool and stuff. Yeah, I do math for fun, okay? I do like to stay hydrated. I forget to eat and drink sometimes when I'm on set, for sure. So I definitely have my assistant, and we negotiate in the day that today we're gonna get through 6 bottles of water, or 5 bottles of water. We call it hydration harassment. And water has to come in front of me whenever I'm doing touch-ups, and I have to, especially with the kind of how much coffee I drink and the fact that I hardly sleep and I'm always in different time zones and planes. And I also hydrate with coconut water in Mumbai from the coconut itself. It's pretty cool. In Mumbai, I have a home, so I live at home, and location could be 2 hours away, location could be half an hour away. First, Nick and I would connect about the progress he made during the day and the progress I made during the day. And then we would talk about the things that we have to do. And then we'd speak to our wedding planners on a conference call. All this would happen while I'm coming back home. And then there was so many friends and so much family at my house. So when I go back home, there's like dinner and there's so many people. And I love that. But just while you're filming a movie, it was a lot. It was a lot. But my friends and family are kind of great. They know me. So they know if I'm getting quiet in the middle of a lot of people, I need time. So my mom would be like, why don't you just go upstairs and grab me, blah, blah, blah. And I would very happily do it and come back after like 45 minutes, which everyone knew what I was doing, so it's okay. I usually am a wine kind of girl, but it was before the wedding. I was trying to like lose weight, get into shape, so I was off wine at that point. I wasn't really drinking too much because I was on films, but I would sleep by about 2-3 in the morning. It always takes me at least half an hour to sleep. Even if my body is like just giving up, especially with the high stress and pace of my job, I need at least like an hour and a half to just sit down, talk, maybe watch TV, eat dinner, but just to come down from the energy and the adrenaline. I didn't get much sleep. So right after I wrapped, about 3-4 days before the wedding, I had to take a day and a half of just sleeping, facial massage, nails, like just one day of decompressing. And then I got straight into the wedding.
Beautiful.